Hello students, good morning all of you. Today we are taking up the 11th chapter, C preprocessor. Preprocessor is part and parcel of the compiler. It is not a separate component. It is, you can call it as precompiler, but it is not a separate component. You must understand that. Actually, what is the role of the preprocessor we have to understand. In real life, if we have to perform any task, some preparatory arrangements are required. If those preparatory arrangements are made, you can perform your job smoothly and ultimately you can achieve the task that you know. Suppose, for example, by the closing time, every office, maybe any office, you see the things are scattered here and there and all that. The same environment is continued next day. People cannot work properly. For everything there is a problem, some hassle, all these things. In order to solve this, actually a person like office boy comes in advance, he organizes things in a proper order and he makes necessary arrangement required for the staff, and staff members, as soon as they start the work, everything is clear, neat, and whatever they require they can easily get and they can do their job smoothly. So such type of pre-arrangement should be made. Otherwise, lot of disturbance is there. I need not explain about that. In compilation process also, such type of pre-arrangements are required. Such type of pre-arrangement and many other facilities are provided by the preprocessor, which is part of the compiler. It is not a separate thing. For the sake of our discussion, we are showing it as a separate component, but it is not at all a separate component. It is part and parcel of the compiler, that you must understand. What type of hassles compiler has to encounter to perform its job? Few of them you know. Then suppose in every program we write comments. Why we write comments? Comments are not part of the language. Language never insists you to write comments. Comments, as a matter of convention, we write to improve the readability or self-documentation in the program. We write comments. In such case, comments are like this. Not only at the top, and along with the program, here and there, you can find comments. Where things are not obvious, we write comments. Then, if it is the case, compiler starts its work, then immediately it encounters a comment. Comment does not require. If you remove all the comments from a program also, compiler gives the same result. There will be no change in its process. So, these comments are meant for the human reader. So, these comments are removed, compiler is enabled to do perform its job smoothly. So, preprocessor, before actual compilation is started, it is activated. It is like an office boy, and it removes all the comments from the program. Then pure code which is required for compiler is remained. In the same manner, you know that you include several header files depending on the requirement. They may be standard header files or user defined library. Then these header files should be actually libraries elsewhere. Library is not part of the language. Then this is a preprocessor directive. Because of this, the library is linked to your program. Whatever functions, standard library functions you call in your program, you can use them and you can get the benefit out of that. So this is also performed by preprocessor. And other one, this is symbolic constants and macros. Why we write that, you know that. Now, by writing symbolic constants and by using symbolic constants and macros, we can make our program more readable, and apart from that, you can write the program very easily. It simplifies the process of writing, so development will be easy. So errors can be reduced. So this is also a preprocessor directive. In this way, preprocessor provides a number of facilities by removing hassles, by providing some facilities, unique facilities like this and all that. One way to the compiler, other way to the user. A user, while developing program, they have to face several practical problems, and for all the such problems, preprocessor finds out solutions. Now you see, just for example's sake, I am telling you, nesting of C comments is prohibited. Nesting of, suppose this is a comment, this is another comment, this is prohibited. When we make the commenting out of the code, then there may be possibility of nesting of C comments. We never do it voluntarily, but involuntarily, that nesting of C comments may happen. Because of that reason, we cannot use the simple technique. Commenting out technique is a very simple debugging technique, but because of nesting of C comments, we cannot freely use. We have to take necessary precautions and all that. Then only commenting out technique we can use. Otherwise, we have to remove all the comments, and then we have to do that. Otherwise, we have to create a duplicate file. In that we remove the comment. Then only we can use commenting out technique. Even though it is a simple technique, we cannot use it just like that. Otherwise, one problem leads to another problem. But for this, compiler provides a very nice solution, very simple solution. These preprocessor instructions are called directives. These are special. Most preprocessor directives start from the hash symbol, and one more specialty of these directives are they are not terminated by semicolon. Already have seen for include directives and define directives. Now, in this chapter, mainly you focus on preprocessor directives. Before entering into preprocessor directives, because in compilation process, preprocessor plays its role. So, once again, we see the program development cycle. Thereafter, we study all the preprocessor directives one by one. And one more thing you must remember, these most preprocessor directives are implementation oriented. Actually, these are meant for, providing ease, a facility in development of big programs and projects. So, some of these directives you may not understand properly what is the real use of the directive. However, whatever extent you can understand that, and because you cannot feel the real importance of that. You, by seeing the purpose of that, you feel that is very simple. But actually, in real-time environment, it provides an ease for the programmer to save their time and develop the code very easily. So, in this chapter, mainly we focus on preprocessor directives.